Welcome back to part 2 with Jeff Dill. Jeff is the founder of the Firefighter Behavioral Health Alliance, and he was here at Red Helmet Training in Rancho Cucamonga teaching a class on post-traumatic stress and firefighter suicide. Hi, I'm Jesse Quiralti, and this is Firefighters in Fire Trucks Getting Ice Cream. We just finished cruising down Route 66 to the city of Upland, and now we're going to go have some ice cream covered in shaved ice at below zero. Here we are, part 2.
All right, that was a good ride.
It was, like I said, and I didn't fall out of the engine.
Oh man, so it's kind of cool. This engine's owned by Hollywood Fire Authority.
Nice.
He's a retired Vernon firefighter, and he went out on injury, but he actually owns several pieces of apparatus, and he just does movie shoots and things like that, and that's it. So
excellent.
Yeah, pretty cool. He owns battalion chief vehicles and ambulances and a ladder truck, and you know
that's what's amazing about life. You just never know what path you're going to do,
right,
and go on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and he's literally been able to take that fire service career and just start a new one. We just watched some movie footage from him the other day where they blew up a fire truck on a show.
Not one of his.
It was. He bought it and then they flipped it and blew it up. It was crazy. So,
well,
yeah, it was pretty funny.
That'll run into your profits really quick.
They literally bought it just for that purpose.
Did
Boom,
they really?
It was done.
Excellent.
Yeah, crazy.
Very nice.
So yeah, we're gonna go in here and grab some ice cream, and it'll be pretty cool. So.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Yep. So yeah, figure out what you want.
Well, with me, it's very easy with ice cream. I'm very basic. Usually
Hi,
chocolate.
How are you guys?
Hello.
Good. Good. All right. My friend here is going to have chocolate ice cream. You don't want it with shaved ice over the top? That's your special.
Yeah, I'll have a little shaved ice on top.
All right.
Absolutely. Just a small. It's and I got to make sure my wife doesn't see this because she'll.
What flavors would you like?
Just chocolate.
On the top?
Yes.
For your shaved ice.
Pardon me?
For your shaved ice.
Yeah, we don't have chocolate flavor.
So if you want to do like a rainbow, all our flavors are on the first board. You can choose up to 3. We have the Snickers, which is number 8. It comes with chocolate ice cream, caramel praline, and then caramel topping.
Oh man, you're killing me with all this stuff.
Choices. You got to
You know, I would like to try the root beer.
Root beer. All right. Okay. And for yourself?
Do you guys have like the cream soda flavored?
Creamsicle. We do. We do vanilla ice cream and orange flavor.
Yeah, let's try that.
What's that?
Small.
That's an interesting looking scoop. Never seen that before.
It's like thrifty ice cream.
It is totally ice cream.
Yeah.
One of my biggest addictions, Frosted Flakes.
Mine's Lucky Charms, so I totally get it. At my station, they have the plastic
Right,
cereal,
right.
And they took Lucky Charms off the label and put Lucky Q's on there.
Nice. I mean, ever since I was little, 3 or 4 bowls a day was no problem. And then when I got to the firehouse, they were really, right. What, you put sugar on Frosted Flakes? It's like, yes, I did. Well, this is interesting. I've never seen this, where they put the shaved on there like that.
Yeah, when I was at Upland, we used to come here all the time, especially like this one.
How do you stay so fit then?
I don't. All the other guys are on CrossFit. I'm on CrossFat. Everybody's got their thing.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Is that
it's
mine?
Like overflowing out of the top.
Oh my word.
It's a perfect bite.
Woo! Look at that.
That was supposed to be a small. You do.
Yeah,
That doesn't look small.
I have to take a picture of that. Wow.
Right?
It's really fluffy.
Wow, gotcha.
And so what's the official title of this then? It's just a chocolate with shaved root beer?
Yeah, chocolate ice cream with root beer shaved ice.
Wow.
Here's the name for it.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, because they got the root beer float, but that one's with vanilla ice cream. You went with the chocolate.
Of course.
You took it up another
I took it up a
level.
notch, baby.
Right.
I go where
Awesome.
no firefighters
Thank you,
boldly go.
ladies.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You too.
Enjoy your day.
Thanks.
Man, oh man, I might have to skip dinner now. Oh, That is a unique style, isn't it?
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
So how often did you come out here?
We've come by, once every couple shifts. It's not like it was frequent, but there's a lot of good restaurants in Upland, so this is just icing on the cake.
Ooh, is that delicious? Whoops.
So how long have you been doing the Firefighter Behavioral Health Alliance thing now?
Well, in reality, it started way back in 2005 after Hurricane Katrina.
Okay.
And so that's when I saw the need, after talking to firefighters that came back from New Orleans, that they were struggling with what they saw. And so I went back, got my master's degree, and became a licensed counselor. And in 2009, I founded Counseling Services for Firefighters. And that was our first official workshop called A Firefighter's Life. And so that trains counselors and chaplains that if you want to work with us, you need to understand this. As you know, it's a challenge. And then I started receiving emails and phone calls from all over the world saying, do you do anything about firefighter suicides? So I know we had a problem.
Wow.
And so calling the United States Fire Administration and the NFPA, the NFF, the NFA, NIOSH, OSHA, no one kept any data on our lost brothers and sisters. So FBHA, technically we were founded in late 2010, but we received, by the time we submitted our articles as a 501c3,
right.
It was June 30th is when we got the official. So that's what I call, my wife says we actually started in 2010, which we did, but June 30th of 2011 is what I call the official.
Gotcha. Now, since you started the 501c, you're doing all kinds of other stuff in that same realm with that nonprofit, right? Like camps and stuff now?
Well, what we do, we have a scholarship program for children of EMS and firefighters that take in their lives. We have an annual weekend retreat for family survivors.
Oh, wow.
And, we just celebrated our 5th annual one. It's always the 3rd week of May. And what makes it really special is not only meeting new families as they join, but on that Friday night, we hold what we call We Remember. And what happens is we started our first one in Savannah, Georgia, many years ago. This year we were in Heber City, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake. And it's already prearranged with the department.
Right.
We go down there at 1900 hours, and they turn their lights on for 1 minute as our families hold pictures and candles. And we scan, we pass along with the camera, and they read off their name and things. Well, when we pulled up to Wasatch County, this is out of Heber City,
right.
It brought tears to almost everyone's eyes. They had 2 ladders all the way up with a flag hanging in between. And it was incredible. Touching moment.
Right.
Since it was our 5th anniversary, I got a bagpipe player, and they play Amazing Grace.
Right.
So it was a very touching, and the men and women of that fire department were just truly, they welcomed our family in like one of their own. And so that We Remember is important.
Now, this has to be tough on you. Obviously, how many firefighter funerals are you involved in and those types of things?
That's a great question, because I think a lot of my self-care has been to avoid that, but I did go to my first one recently, and it was something I'll never forget. When the family walked into the church, and it was a pretty good-sized church, about 500-600 people in attendance, and it was quiet when they walked in, except the lonely cry of a daughter. And she must have been 8 or 9 years old, and that one hit home for me, because I validate, and I hear so many stories of our brothers and sisters,
right.
But when you see it in action, and that daughter with just the crying, it was difficult, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't. Going to those would definitely make it really tough.
Well, and I have to, I think, for my own self-care, is try not to get too personal into it. And I think, as well, all the years in the job, we didn't go to many funerals of people that we tried to rescue and things. It was just something we kind of separated ourselves from,
right.
for our own mental health.
Well, that's one of the things that makes it hard. We'll go on overdoses or somebody that has cut their wrist in the general public, and we'll go there, and it's just another day. But obviously, if we're talking about our own,
Right.
it's a totally different type of call.
I mean, I've been to line of duty deaths, and you know how those are. They're just both horrific and yet very honorable, that we respect and pay homage to our fallen brother or sister. But understand, those who take their lives, sometimes they're looked at differently as well. You know how society accepts, and especially mental health. Well, now you're talking about the fire service and our brothers and sisters. And there are many that are still very resistant to trying to understand behavioral health. And so that's why I say we have a long ways to go still.
Well, and then depending on the state, do they actually get firefighter death benefits if they commit suicide?
And that's one of the biggest issues that families have to, because the IFF recognizes firefighters that have taken their lives as long as it's attributed to PTSD. And so where we are going one step beyond is the Denver Fire Department has offered us property at Station 18 to build a memorial site for fire and EMS, so that families have a place to go to know that their loved ones, whether they took their lives because of addictions or anger or whatever those things were, we still want to honor and remember them. And so, we're absolutely indebted to Denver. We're currently in the early stages of drawings that have been presented to us. And of course, we'll have to do fundraising for that as well. And that's been a struggle for us at FBHA is raising funds for. We're a small little 501c3. But you know what? The good Lord gets it done for us. And for us to be around since 2011, that says something to the character of my wife, who supports us, my two instructors. We just keep on plugging along, and we do get a lot of private, outside of the fire service donations. Mission Barbecue has been one of our biggest ones. I mean, their amount of money that they've donated to us is incredible. Phoenix Fire Helmets, they right out of Riverside, they've been a great sponsor for us.
That's awesome. Well, and it's good that you have two other instructors now too. It's probably also part of your self-care that you're not towing this line alone.
Well, absolutely it is, and I love what they do. Jennifer Kramer out of Ohio, she's a licensed counselor. Her husband's a captain in the fire department up there, and looking at her evaluations, when they send them, they're incredible. I mean, and she does such a great job. And then we have a Chief Robert Simmons from Alabama, and he's on the military side, and he's studying to get his master's in psychology. So I have some great people. In fact, we're going to Germany. We've been asked to come to Germany, Interschutz. Every 5 years, they have the largest fire conference in the world. They average about 175,000 people over a 5-day period. And so we want to make more of an international, because this is a global issue.
Right.
And the things that we've learned that we feel that we can take across the world is important. How's that, man? You're eating a lot faster than I am.
No, I'm trying to get to the vanilla ice cream underneath the orange.
That's what I was looking for. I was
Try to get
looking
it,
for the chocolate here.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
So you're getting ready to go to Germany. You're all over the country.
Right.
Is this what you imagined your retirement to be from the fire department?
No, not at all. Not at all. And, retirement looks so different for so many people.
Right.
And when we doing what we do, tracking and validating, out of the 233 that we have validated, 37 took their lives within the first week of retirement. And that got us, that's why our workshops are developed based off our data. And so we interviewed 127 recently retired fire and EMS. And this I do face-to-face. And all over the United States, wherever I'm at, if there's retirees in there, I talk to them. When I collected the data, I looked at the number one reason that they struggled with was that they thought their life had come to an end once they retired.
Right.
And that's a problem, because this is still just a career. It's still just a job. And the three issues that they struggled with were loss of identity, loss of belonging, and lack of purpose. Things that you can see in real life as well. But the problem is, for us in the fire service, we're not doing anything to help out our retirees. You know, what are we doing to prepare them for that transition? So, you know, like I said, we base all these things on the data. And 2 years before, how are we transitioning? What are we giving them? Maybe marriage counseling 6 months before you retire, because that day you walk in and say, hey, I'm home.
Right.
And your loved one saying, oh my gosh, all the time now?
Right.
That's a real problem, because we see
it's unfortunate.
we see divorce rates high,
Right.
and things.
So literally to the point where they literally get served their divorce papers the day that they retire. You know?
It's almost like that empty nest.
Right.
They don't recognize each other now that they're home and struggling. And so, you know, can we not extend counseling benefits to our retirees, peer support team benefits, chaplain benefits? All these are things that we can look into as we move forward in this behavioral health arena for our retirees.
Well, it's the retirees and the ones that go out on, you know, injury. And you brought that up earlier. You know, like Eric, he's
Right.
out there doing this Hollywood Fire Authority thing. But the other thing that Eric is getting ready to do, he's got a couple of other firefighters that went out early on injury, and with his fire engines, he's actually prepping one to be like a funeral engine that they can do, and things like that. But trying to bring some of those guys back into the fire service that unfortunately went out earlier than they were expecting to.
And that's the problem with that issue, is that that's not how they thought their career would end.
Right.
And so depression can set in very quickly.
Well, even just figuring out, you know, how you're going to survive if you go out early.
The financial aspect.
At Red Helmet Training, I'm always telling firefighters that are coming through there, take instructor classes, take fire inspector classes. Even if you get an injury where you can't do this job anymore, you can still do some pretty good, cool stuff in the fire service, in the prevention world or in the teaching world or whatever. But I always tell firefighters, go take those fire inspector classes, get that done.
Yeah, I'm absolutely a proponent on education, because you know, my saying is, you stop learning, you stop growing.
Right.
And we need to start early on in our academies. What are we doing? Because we're all one slip off a ladder changing careers. So having that something to fall back on is vital.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad that you finished your career out, and now retirement is this.
This
for
is
you,
it.
But
I get to harass my wife a little bit more.
Well,
you know,
thanks for coming out and
I
harassing
appreciate
me today.
it.
I do
Thank you.
appreciate it.
I'm deeply honored, and thank you for this ice cream.
No, my
It's a
pleasure.
pleasure,
That's
and the
least
ride
I
on the
can do.
engine. So.
That is the least I can do. Ride on a fire engine and get some ice cream.
And
So
what a better combination, right?
yeah, that's what we try to do every day at the firehouse, right? Go get ice
Absolutely.
cream and go ride on the fire engine.
And everyone goes home safely.
Yeah. Cool.
Stay safe, sir.
Thanks, Jeff. I
Take care.
appreciate it.
You know how it feels at the end of the day, looking back, wondering how you'd make it through okay. It'll all catch up, it'll drive you insane, but you do it anyway, 'cause that's just how you're made. Yeah, we remember live with all the struggles and the pain you hide away. When it all adds up, can make you feel like you've lost your way. You wish your memories would just burn among the flames, but they live with you, become a part of your last name. Yeah, we remember all the sacrifices made, all the lives we couldn't save, the times we stood and led the way. Yeah, we remember All the things we tried to do, all the hell that we walked through, and the pride we hold on to, yeah, we remember. The weight bearing down on you, no, it really don't seem fair. All the things you wish you hadn't seen, no, nothing compares. You always try to save the day, but it don't always break that way. You lock it all away with nothing left to say, yeah, but we remember all the sacrifices made, all the lives we couldn't save, the times we stood and led the way, yeah, we remember. All the things we tried to do, all the hell that we walked through, all the pride we hold on to, yeah, we remember. Yeah, we remember. Yeah, we remember all the sacrifices made, all the lives we couldn't save, the times we stood and led the way. Yeah, we remember all the things we tried to do, all the hell that we walked through, all the pride we hold on to, yeah, we remember. Yeah, we remember.